And I know that they want to pay me because they've got their own agenda and they couldn't really care about me. They just want to see, oh, we want this, you know, and you're going to do this for us because we're paying you. I never take a client now who feels that they can buy me. And if you allow clients to work with you who are the types of clients who feel that they're buying you, then the energy around that money that is being transferred to you is very negative, and it will only result in bad things for you. The transfer of that smaller amount of money will rapidly increase.
I'm unsure if my service is niche enough to cut through the saturated competition. Saturated competition is a belief, it's not a fact. The competition is not saturated when you bring yourself up to a level and a standard which is good enough for you, you know, and that's the thing. It's not about it's not about being in a saturated market and not having enough skill or not having enough, you know, there's too much competition so you don't stand out. You will inevitably stand out when you take the right approach, when you value yourself, and when you say to yourself, people need me, people need my skills, people need my services, you know, and it's not about how many people are out there doing it. It's never about that. Ever. Business is never about that. Then we've got balancing time, making mistakes, keeping me from being successful. Mistakes have to happen and they happen to everybody. Mistakes do not keep you from being successful. It's when you don't do anything about them that keeps you from being successful. We have to really understand and identify when we are concerned, worried, fearful. Again, you know, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, are they beliefs or are they facts? Because facts you can't really do very much about, but beliefs you most certainly can, and you can begin to start working on them and changing them. Some faith and hope for the future that, you know, what we're all fearing right now about marketing isn't exactly true. Marketing is simply about making sure people know you exist, and in the simplest term or the simplest way to put it, it's about making friends. When I say do whatever it takes, I include looking after yourself first in that. Now, I'm going to tell you a statement of fact. If you do not put yourself first, no matter what intentions you may think you have, you are not doing whatever it takes to make the business work. This is not really what I want to do. This is not my end goal. This is not my long-term endeavor. Then you know that is a sure sign that your heart is not in this. You will not be successful. Do you know why? I will tell you why. Because for every one of you who doesn't really want to do this but wants to make it work for other reasons, there are 10 who love it, who are passionate about it, and who want to succeed at it and do well. When I was resenting it, and believe me, at one point in my life I did resent virtual assistants when I was working with the wrong clients, when I was doing it for the money, when I was trying to make ends meet, you know, I actually went through a period of time where I did resent virtual assistants, and then I had to find a different kind of relationship with it. One that's a little more holistic, one that's a little bit more compassionate. You know, it became less about, you know, working with the shitty clients, but it became more about, do you know what, if I do really well in my business, then maybe I can help other people do well in theirs, and maybe they won't need to work with these clients the way I have been. Maybe they won't need to have to work all hours under the sun if I can somehow help them make this profitable. Then you are just gonna, like, you know, like Pac-Man, that really old game Pac-Man, where you would just kind of like bump into walls and, you know, go in different directions. You know, he was trying to make it to the end, but he just kept, you know, like bumping into things. You're gonna be playing Pac-Man forever. You can do something about that. It's simply about management of your business, management of your clients, management of your time. It's simply a management issue, okay? All management issues, all of them, every single one, No matter what the management issue is, as long as it's a management issue, it can always be solved. How am I going to get my clients to work with me more consistently? If you say, oh, do you know what, you get fearful and you're like, oh, maybe I need to take a job. Maybe I need to take that client even though I don't really want them and I don't think it's going to work out. Maybe I need to do this. We make these decisions out of fear. Fear of something not working out. When we make these decisions, we stray from the path. What happens is when you sidetrack, you stay stuck in that sidetrack. There's no moving forward from there. So you have to understand that if you do sidetrack, it's like a pit stop. And you're in that pit stop until you pull yourself back out again and get yourself on the path. So ask yourself this question, putting yourself in pit stops. When I didn't value myself, I would consistently attract clients who didn't value me. Or I allowed to make myself feel undervalued by them. The crux of it is, if you don't value yourself enough to run your business on your terms and enforce the things that you need to happen into your business, then you cannot have the expectation that any client will value or respect those terms, because you simply do not enforce them and you do not believe that you can enforce them, or you simply feel that they have the upper hand. So don't have the expectation that you'll be valued, that you'll be respected if you do not do that for yourself. This is like self-development 101. Then you will do it this way. This is how we do it. This is how it works. You don't walk into, take the surgeon scenario again. You don't walk into a surgeon for, open heart surgery and then say to that surgeon, okay, I want you to make the incision right here. I want to use that scalpel, no, not that other one, that one. And then I want you to, put these retractors in my chest like this and just open me up like that. You do not do that. It is the same situation in this scenario. If you want to have a business that you run and doesn't run you, do you want your clients running your business, or do you want to run your business? So, again, that's like a belief system. Until you actually have too many clients, how do you know that you're not going to be able to handle it? Until you actually are in these situations, how do you know? You don't know. So don't worry about it. Put yourself in those situations and deal with it at the time. Oh, and then somebody said this as well, that it would actually, doing something they feel good about would make them feel better about themselves, okay? It doesn't work in that order. That's the wrong order. You feel good about yourself, and then you end up doing things that you feel good about. If you don't remove the stuff that is blocking, you cannot make room for new people. They absolutely are amazed by your initiative, by your management skills, by your confidence in what you're doing, by your ability to take control and take charge of the situation, and they'll just be totally amazed by that. And then they're going to think, wow, I need to be working more with this person. Actually, no, I do need to pay more attention to this person I'm working with. There's more to this person than I realized or understood. There are people who inherently talk down to other people just because it's their nature. But there are people who talk down to other people because they think they can. Don't be one of those people who you have people talking down to you because they think they can. And only you can give that to yourself. Only you can give yourself that. Anybody who is in a situation where their business is becoming an emotional roller coaster and causing them anxiety and insomnia, first of all, you have to own that, and the ownership is, I put myself in that situation, okay? The only way you're going to get out of it is to understand that you put yourself in there, so therefore you can get yourself out of it, okay? And that's the same with any given situation. It's the same with weight loss. If you gain the weight, you can get out of it. You can lose it again. If you put yourself in a situation with a client, you can get yourself out. If you've overcommitted to work, you can undercommit again, or you can take yourself out of that situation. So always know, in any given situation, if you put yourself there and you own that, you can get yourself out. The chain of events will eventually unfold in the right direction for you if you simply do that one thing. Be like, oh my God, I've just secured $3,000. It's amazing. Oh my God, I can't believe I've done this. And there would be like this moment of euphoria. And then I would come down from that. I'm going to be like, yeah, but I wonder how long it's going to last. It'd be like, it'll probably disappear next week when something will go wrong. And I would literally invite that situation into my life. And lo and behold, it would always happen. Again, that is a concern that won't serve you because it's not something that's happened yet, essentially. If your concern is that you won't be able to grow the business enough, then, just grow it a little bit, just start something, grow a little bit, see what happens, grow it a little bit more. And again, it's about projections as well. I mean, really, this is all about a numbers game. I teach this in The Apprentice in version 1 about it being a numbers game, and it's simply about how many people do I need to be in contact with every day in order to achieve my goal. Because you are so caught up in the pattern of everything that's been happening to you over the last several years, but you have to understand that pattern is something that you've put yourself in. And you can just as easily put yourself in a different pattern. This is what this is all about. It's about understanding and realizing I did this to myself. It has been my own creation. And now I'm ready to move on to a different creation. I'm ready to create something else for myself. You say to yourself, I'm going to go in a different direction. It's scary, but it's got to be done. Right now, I service clients not because I have to, but because I want to. Because my passive income business makes enough money for me to do the things that I want to do. So these clients that I'm servicing right now are not because I have to service them, because that's where my income comes in. Even though I make a 6-figure income from client services, it's kind of ironic.